You were down the hall. What actually happened that day?
Right. I was actually 2 doors down. My office is 2 doors down from AOC. And not at one moment during the events of January 6th did any rioter or any insurrectionist come down the hallways where our offices are located. I initially, took to task the press for making these claims, taking these claims to apocalyptic levels. And all I did was state the facts. I live in reality. I deal with facts and not fiction. And I said that there were no rioters in the hallways of Cannon. I'm 2 doors down from you. And she lost it today. She doesn't deal in reality. She hasn't been doing that today. I think it's really important that we take members to task when they're not being honest with the American people. This division is hurting our country.
Congresswoman, are you, just to be clear, alleging that she fabricated this entire story for political reasons? Or is it possible she had a different experience? She knew this was going on.
Right. I'm not going to discount the trauma. I felt the events that day, they were traumatic. I've been very strong and vocal about that. I felt like I was a sitting duck. I felt like my life was in danger. These are all things that I've said. I sent my children home early that week because I was worried about violence that might transpire on Wednesday, January 6th. But at no time were there rioters at our doors banging to get in. And I think that, also attacking the Capitol Police this week, she did that earlier this week, she did that last month. The only thing standing between us and the rioters in our office building were the Capitol Police, and they were outnumbered. And I'm not going to discount the trauma that we each experienced, but we have to be factual when we describe what actually happened. And I'm telling the truth today. That's simply it.
The AOC response to this, and if I could just get you to respond to her, because she's calling you deeply cynical, and says that this is a disgusting attack that you've launched on her, directly tweeting at you. As the Capitol complex was stormed and people were being killed, none of us knew in the moment that what areas were compromised. You previously told reporters, she says to you, yourself, that you barricaded in your office, afraid you'd be hurt. I believe you just said that on the record here as well. You can comment on that and respond to her, but I'll also ask you why you feel this is a fight you so strongly want to engage in.
Well, I didn't intend to engage in this fight. I was just simply commenting on the fact that there weren't rioters at our doors. They weren't in the hallways. They were not inside the building of Cannon. I think that was an important detail because the way that the media was portraying this and the threat that was on her life, and using the words like murder this week.
Why do you think she, as you're alleging, she fabricated the story about the rioters being in the hallways? Why do you think she would do that?
Well, I mean, she's very good at politicizing events to her advantage, and that's what's going on today. We've seen it throughout her tenure in Congress, and these are the reasons why Americans are fed up with politics today. Seeing the culture of personality in both parties continually dividing our country. We have real work to do, and just look yesterday and today being distracted from the work of the people. We have people out of jobs, we have kids that aren't back in school, and we have vaccinations that need to get to vulnerable and compromised Americans so we can stem the tide of COVID-19. These aren't the things that we're talking about today because we're dealing with literally, I feel like I'm in an episode of Jerry Springer right now. It's a circus, and we're paid a lot of money to do a job, and I'm here to work, and that's what we need to be doing. That's what each of us need to be focusing on today going forward for the remainder of our term in Congress.
Here's Republican lawmaker Nancy Mace claiming that she's not here to discount AOC's trauma, while simultaneously making bad faith claims intended solely to discount AOC's trauma. This came in the aftermath of AOC recording an Instagram Live where she recounted how she was in her office on January 6th when she heard banging on the door and ultimately a man entering her office.
And I immediately realized that I shouldn't have gone into the bathroom. I should have jumped in the closet. And so I opened the door when all of a sudden I hear that whoever was trying to get inside got into my office. And then I realized that it's too late, for me to get into the closet. And so I go back in and I hide back in the bathroom behind the door. And then I just start to hear these yells of, "Where is she? Where is she?" And I just thought to myself, they got inside. And so I hide behind my door like this, like I'm here, and the bathroom door starts going like this, like the bathroom door is behind me, or rather in front of me, and I'm like this, and the door hinges right here, and I just hear, where is she? Where is she? And this was the moment where I thought everything was over.
And then Nancy Grace took to Twitter to say, quote, "I'm 2 doors down from AOC and no